Agency background. Deep beneath Tokyo lies the world's most secretive intelligence organization, the Phantom Shift Agency. Founded by Dr. Akira Sato, the agency specializes in missions requiring advanced biological transformation technology. Their classified serum allows agents to completely alter their physical appearance, including gender, for up to 72 hours. Success rate, 97.3%. Therapy bills, astronomical. Agent, Hiroshi Hawk Nakamura gives Yuki Nakamura. Target, Kenji Yamamoto, 24. Engineering graduate student, mission, recover stolen military armor blueprints, duration, 48 hours, embarrassment. Level, maximum. Agent Hiroshi Nakamura stared at the purple transformation serum like it contained liquid death. Remind me why I can't just break into his lab. Because, Director Sato explained, Kenji Yamamoto only trusts female peers. Psychological profile indicates daddy issues and romantic vulnerability. The stolen blueprints are hidden somewhere on campus during the cultural festival. Hiroshi downed the serum. It tasted like great medicine and poor life choices. 20 minutes of biological reorganization later, Yuki Nakamura emerged. Long chestnut hair, delicate features, and a figure that made walking a completely new experience. The university uniform blazer, skirt, and an engineering marvel called a bra completed the transformation. How do women function in these contraptions? Yuki muttered, struggling with the bra straps. You'll figure it out. Good luck, Agent. Day 1, campus infiltration. Tokyo Metropolitan University buzzed with festival preparations. Yuki navigated the campus in constant terror of the skirt's aerodynamics and the mysterious physics of her new anatomy. Ara, you must be the transfer student? A bubbly girl with gravity-defying twin tails bounced over. I'm Sakura Tanaka. Yuki Nakamura, Yuki replied, voice pitched higher than comfortable. From Osaka University. Shigoi, let me show you around. Sakura grabbed Yuki's arm with hurricane enthusiasm. The festival starts tomorrow. Oh, you should meet Kenji-kun from engineering. He's totally kawaii but super mysterious. Target acquired. They found Kenji in the engineering lab, bent over technical drawings. Tall, lean, intelligent eyes behind stylish glasses, exactly the type with daddy issues and questionable life choices. Kenji-kun, meet Yuki-chan, Sakura announced with the subtlety of a marching band. Kenji looked up, nearly spilling coffee. Oh, hello. His eyes widened slightly at Yuki. Nice to meet you, Yamamoto-kun. Yuki bowed carefully, maintaining balance. Just Kenji, please. Osaka University. Impressive engineering program. Yuki glanced at his work, definitely classified blueprints hidden under civilian projects. What are you working on? His expression turned guarded. Graduation project? Nothing interesting. Everything about him screamed guilty of treason. Maybe we could talk at the festival tomorrow? Yuki suggested with calculated shyness. I'd love to hear about your research. Kenji blushed. Yes, that would be nice. As they left, Sakura squealed. Oh my god, he totally likes you. This is so exciting. But first emergency skincare intervention? You can't just use soap. 3 hours later, Yuki's face wore 17 beauty products while she texted headquarters. Target acquired. Send whiskey and therapy. Day 2, festival infiltration. The cultural festival transformed the campus into organized chaos. Yuki, now moderately competent in feminine locomotion, navigated food stalls and game booths in search of Kenji. She found him manning the engineering department's robotics demonstration, looking uncomfortable in the crowd. Kenji-kun. Yuki approached with practiced enthusiasm. This is amazing. His face lit up. Yuki-chan, you came. Would you like to see the lab's private projects? Too easy. I'd love to. In the lab's back room, Kenji's demeanor shifted from shy student to nervous conspirator. Can I trust you with something important? Of course, Yuki said, activating her hidden recording device. Kenji pulled out a USB drive. My father's company, they develop military technology. I took something. Defense blueprints for next-generation armor systems? Why? Yuki asked, genuinely curious. Money, at first. I thought I could sell them and prove I didn't need his help. But now, ... He looked tormented. People could die if this technology falls into the wrong hands. I've been trying to figure out how to return them without going to prison. Plot twist. The target has a conscience. Kenji-kun, Yuki said gently, what if I told you there was a way to fix this? What do you mean? Yuki made a decision that would definitely violate protocol. What if I told you I work for people who could help you return those blueprints safely? I what? My real name is Agent Yuki of the Phantom Shift Agency. We're a government intelligence organization, and we've been tracking those stolen blueprints. Kenji stared. You single quotes a spy. The good kind? And Yuri not a traitor. Yuri a scared kid who made a mistake and wants to fix it. I don't understand. How is this possible? You're just ... a college girl. Kenji-kun, I'm actually a 30-year-old male agent using advanced biotechnology to look like this. Kenji's brain visibly short-circuited. You're a man? Temporarily, long story. Point is, we can help you return those blueprints through proper channels. Your cooperation ensures no charges, and you get to keep your security clearance for future legitimate work with your father's company. Kenji slumped in relief. Yes, please. I just wanted to prove myself, but I realize now how stupid this was. Smart people make stupid decisions when they're emotional. Trust me, I once tried to infiltrate a Yakuza gang by pretending to be a sushi chef. Terrible idea. 20 minutes later, the blueprints were secured. Kenji was in protective custody pending debriefing, and Yuki was filling out mission completion forms. One question Kenji asked as agency personnel arrived. Are you really... do you actually look like ... Like a 30-year-old guy who hasn't figured out proper skincare? Yes. Wow, technology these days. Mission Debrief Director Sato reviewed the report. Excellent work, Agent Hawk. Though I notice your expense report includes 50,000 yen in beauty products, Sakura-chan insisted. Also, I'm keeping the skincare routine. Have you seen how good my skin looks? The transformation wore off 6 hours ago. Exactly my point. Final status. Mission successful. Blueprints recovered. Target rehabilitated rather than prosecuted. Agent Hawk now has inexplicably excellent skin and an encyclopedic knowledge of university-level skincare routines. Recommendation: consider recruiting actual women for future missions. Also, increase serum budget to include How to Walk in Heels training module. End of mission file number 1. The Phantom Shift Agency mission file number 2, Operation Beach Volleyball. Agent Marcus Lightning Rodriguez gives Marina Rodriguez target. Victor Kozlov. 45, Russian arms dealer mission. Infiltrate beach volleyball tournament. Recover stolen nuclear launch codes. Location: Okinawa International Beach Resort. Duration: 48 hours. Embarrassment. Level: critical. Marcus Lightning Rodriguez had survived 3 tours in Afghanistan, Black Ops missions in 17 countries, and once spent a week eating nothing but insects in the Amazon. None of that prepared him for staring at his reflection as Marina Rodriguez. The Phantom Shift transformation had given him platinum blonde hair that cascaded to his shoulders, a figure that defied several laws of physics, and skin that was somehow naturally tan despite being Hispanic turned Scandinavian supermodel. The target is Victor Kozlov. Director Sato briefed over Securcom. Former Spetsnaz, current arms dealer with a weakness for beautiful volleyball players. He's judging the International Beach Championship as cover for auctioning stolen nuclear launch codes. Intel suggests the codes are hidden in his beachfront villa. Marina stared at what the agency optimistically called her uniform, a bikini that consisted of approximately 3 square inches of fabric held together by engineering genius and prayer. How do women function in these torture devices? Your cover is Marina Rodriguez, professional beach volleyball player from Brazil. Your partner is Carmen Santos, legitimate athlete who thinks you're a fellow player recovering from injury. Day 1. Beach landing, the Okinawa International Beach. Resort was paradise, if paradise involves sand that got everywhere, sun that could cook, and egg and volleyball courts where incredibly fit people in minimal clothing performed athletic feats that seemed to mock gravity. Marina's arrival caused a minor sensation. 3 waiters walked into poles, 2 tournament officials forgot their own names, and someone's beach ball deflated from the shock. Marina, a bronze goddess with Brazilian flag bikini and infectious energy, bounded over. I'm Carmen, your partner. Mu Dias, you're even more beautiful in person. Obrigada? Marina attempted, hoping her crash course in Portuguese pronunciation didn't sound like a dying walrus. Carmen led Marina through registration, where officials practically drooled over the entry forms. Viktor Kozlov, the head judge, was a mountain of a man with gold teeth, expensive sunglasses, and the predatory gaze of someone who collected beautiful things. The famous Marina Rodriguez. Victor's Russian accent was thick as molasses. I have heard much about your ... Tottens. Just trying to get back in the game after my injury, Marina replied, fighting the urge to analyze his security detail. Perhaps we could discuss your future over dinner tonight? I know people who appreciate athletic excellence, hook, line, and sinker. The volleyball learning curve, beach volleyball, Marina quickly discovered, was nothing like the casual backyard games she'd imagined. It was gladiatorial combat disguised as sport, requiring reflexes, strategy, and the ability to dive face first into sand without dying. Marina, focus! Carmen shouted as their first opponents, 2 Amazonian Swedish women named Helga and Brunhild, served a ball that traveled at roughly the speed of sound. Marina's special forces training kicked in. She analyzed trajectories, calculated angles, and dove for the ball with military precision. The result was spectacular, a perfect dig that sent the ball soaring in a graceful arc toward Carmen. Incredible. Carmen spiked the ball down with devastating force. Where did that come from? Lucky shot? Marina panted, spitting out sand and wondering how it had managed to get inside her bikini top. They won the match, barely. You're amazing. Carmen hugged Marina enthusiastically. Victor San was watching the whole time. Indeed, the Russian arms dealer had observed every play with the intensity of someone evaluating a prize racehorse. Evening. The Lion's Den Victor's villa was exactly what Marina expected from someone who sold weapons for a living obscenely expensive, heavily guarded and decorated with the sort of art that probably belonged in museums before mysterious accidents befell their previous owners. Welcome to my humble home, Victor gestured grandly, though his eyes never stopped cataloging Marina's assets. You played magnificently today. Such natural talent. Marina wore a cocktail dress that Carmen had insisted she borrow another engineering. Marvel that seemed designed to distract rather than clothe. You're very kind. I hear you're quite the collector. I appreciate rare and beautiful things. Victor led her to a balcony overlooking the beach. Perhaps after dinner, I could show you my private collection. Very exclusive items. Not for public viewing. Perfect opening. Dinner was elaborate with wine that probably cost more than most people's cars. Victor regaled Marina with stories of his business ventures, while she mentally cataloged the villa as security systems and escape routes. You know, Victor said, leaning closer as dessert arrived, I have proposition for you. Oh? After tournament, perhaps you consider private sponsorship? Very lucrative. Travel to exclusive locations, meet important clients. Marina's intelligence training translated. Become his personal arm candy for illegal weapons demonstrations. That sounds interesting, she purred. Tell me more about these special clients. Victor's eyes glittered with greed. Government officials who prefer discretion. Military contractors seeking competitive advantages. And there's the confession. Speaking of premium items, Marina said carefully, Carmen mentioned you sometimes show trusted friends your private collection. Ah, you have good instincts. Victor laughed, standing unsteadily. The wine had hit him harder than he'd realized. Come, I show you something very special, very valuable, very explosive. He led Marina through the villa to a secure room behind his office. Multiple locks, electronic keypads, and enough security to protect state secrets. Which Marina realized it probably was. Inside, Victor opened a temperature-controlled case containing what looked like an ordinary flash drive. You know what this is? He asked conspiratorially. It looks like computer storage. This, my beautiful Marina, contains launch codes for certain nuclear missiles. Hypothetically, of course. Worth $50 million to right buyer. Tomorrow, after tournament, I auction to highest bidder. Mission objective located. That's incredible, Marina breathed, secretly photographing everything with her hidden camera. You must be very careful with something so valuable. Of course, only I know combination. Only I can access. Completely safe until Marina's hand shot out faster than Victor could blink. Applying a sleeper hold she'd learned in Special Forces training, he dropped unconscious in 3 seconds. Sorry, Victor, nothing personal. Well, actually, selling nuclear launch codes is pretty personal to world security. Mission completion, 20 minutes later, Marina had the flash drive, photos of Victor's client list, and evidence of 3 other illegal arms deals. She'd also triggered the villa's silent alarm because why make things easy? Marina? Carmen's voice echoed from the beach as sirens wailed in the distance. What's happening? Are you okay? Marina burst onto the beach, still in her cocktail dress, clutching the stolen launch codes. Carmen, change of plans. We need to leave. Now. But the tournament, the finals are tomorrow. Trust me, this is more important than volleyball. Carmen stared at her partner, who was currently zip-tying unconscious Russian bodyguards with cables she'd defound in the villa's entertainment center, and came to an obvious conclusion. You're not really a volleyball player, are you? I'm really not. Also, we should probably run. They ran. Carmen, being an actual athlete, had no trouble. Marina, despite her transformation, maintained the conditioning of a Special Forces operative. Behind them, Victor's villa became a chaos of flashing lights and very confused security personnel. Mission debrief. Excellent work, Agent Lightning. Director Sato reviewed the mission report. Launch codes recovered, arms dealer arrested, international incident averted. Great, Marina said, still picking sand out of uncomfortable places. Can I never wear a bikini again? Actually, the Brazilian Volleyball Federation wants to offer you a legitimate contract. Apparently, your unique playing style has generated significant interest. You're joking. Carmen Santos specifically requested you as her permanent partner. She was quite impressed. Marina stared at the contract. Do I have to keep being blonde? That's negotiable. Final status. Mission successful. Nuclear launch codes secured. Agent Lightning discovers unexpected talent for beach volleyball. Carmen. Santos remains convinced her partner is simply very dedicated to maintaining cover stories. Recommendation. Consider adding beach volleyball to standard training curriculum. Also, invest in better sunscreen. End of mission file number 2. The Phantom Shift Agency, mission file number 3. Operation Fashion Week. Agent James Shadow. Parker gives Jasmine Parker target. Isabella Montclair, 28. Fashion mogul and tech smuggler mission. Infiltrate Milan Fashion Week. Recover stolen military textile technology location. Milan. Italy duration, 72 hours embarrassment level. Runway level catastrophic James Shadow. Parker had survived gunfights in Mogadishu, infiltrated terrorist cells in Eastern Europe, and once spent 3 weeks undercover in a Siberian gulag. None of that prepared him for staring at the haute couture nightmare draped across his hotel bed. The phantom shift transformation had turned him into Jasmine Parker, statuesque brunette with legs that went on for approximately 17 miles and cheekbones sharp enough to cut glass. The problem wasn't the transformation, it was the uniform. You want me to wear this? Jasmine held up what could generously be called a dress, but looked more like abstract art having an existential crisis. Geometric cutouts, asymmetrical hemlines, and approximately zero regard for human dignity. Agent Shadow, Director Sato's voice crackled through the secure comm. Your target is Isabella Montclair, fashion industry maven and black market technology broker. She's stolen classified military textile technology adaptive camouflage fibers that can make soldiers virtually invisible. She's planning to auction the tech to terrorists disguised as revolutionary fabric innovations during her Fashion Week show, and I have to wear ... this. Jasmine gestured at the architectural disaster masquerading as clothing. You're walking her finale piece? Every major fashion editor, military contractor, and international buyer will be watching. It's the perfect cover for her auction. I can barely walk in normal clothes. How am I supposed to runway model in whatever this is? You'll figure it out. Your cover is Jasmine Parker, mysterious new model discovered in Brazil. The fashion world loves mysterious. Jasmine stared at the accompanying shoe stilts disguised as heels that violated several laws of physics. I'm going to die, aren't I? Probably not. We have excellent health insurance. Day 1. Fashion boot camp from Hal Milan Fashion Week was exactly as pretentious as Jasmine had imagined, but with 300% more chaos, 500% more stress, and enough hairspray to damage the ozone layer permanently. Models strutted through the venue like beautiful gazelles, while designers had nervous breakdowns in 3 different languages simultaneously. Jasmine, darling, you're here. Francesco, Isabella's show coordinator, materialized in a cloud of cologne and creative anxiety. Isabella is absolutely dying to meet you. Your portfolio shots were magnifico. Thank you, agency photo manipulation team. I'm excited to work with her, Jasmine replied, testing her higher voice while trying not to topple over in the death trap heels. First, let's get you fitted. Isabella's finale piece is revolutionary. The fabric responds to body temperature, changes opacity based on lighting, and reportedly does things that defy known textile science. Bingo. Military adaptive technology. The fitting room was controlled chaos. 3 seamstresses swarmed Jasmine with measuring tapes, pins, and the kind of intense focus usually reserved for bomb disposal. The finale dress was undeniably stunning flowing fabric that seemed to shift color subtly as it moved, with an otherworldly quality that suggested serious technology underneath the artistry. Breathe in, Cara Mia, the head seamstress commanded. This dress, she is temperamental. The fabric, it responds to stress hormones. You must be calm, confident, fierce. Stress-responsive fabric, definitely military tech. How does it work exactly? Jasmine asked casually. Trade secrets, darling. Isabella's revolutionary weaving process creates fibers that interact with the wearer's biology. Very cutting edge, very expensive, very exclusive. Day 2, runway boot camp, walking in heels. Jasmine discovered was like learning to operate heavy machinery while balancing on stilts during an earthquake. The other models made it look effortless. Jasmine made it look like a contact sport. No. The runway coach, a stern woman named Valentina, clapped her hands in frustration. You walk like soldier. This is fashion. You must glide like swan, not march like military. Too accurate for comfort. I'm still getting used to the shoes, Jasmine protested after her third near-death experience with gravity. These shoes, they are nothing. Wait until you see finale heels, 8 inches of pure art. I'm definitely going to die. During lunch break, Jasmine finally met Isabella Montclair, a striking woman with silver hair, predatory intelligence, and the kind of smile that suggested she collected secrets for fun. Jasmine, darling, you're even more beautiful in person. Isabella's handshake lasted precisely 3 seconds longer than necessary. I have such plans for you. This show is just the beginning. I'm honored to be walking for you, Jasmine replied. The finale dress is incredible. The fabric technology seems revolutionary. Isabella's eyes glittered with pride and greed. Oh, my dear, you have no idea. What you'll be wearing tomorrow night will change fashion forever and make certain people very, very wealthy. There's the confession. I'd love to hear more about your process. The technical innovation sounds fascinating. Perhaps after the show. I'm having a private reception for very select clients. Military contractors, government buyers, people who appreciate practical applications of beautiful things. Target acquired. Day 3. Showtime disaster. The fashion show was a sensory assault of camera flashes, pounding music, and enough designer anxiety to power a small city. Jasmine stood backstage in the finale dress, which was doing alarming things in response to her elevated stress hormones, shifting from deep blue to silver to nearly transparent. Calm, Karamia. The seamstress frantically adjusted the dress. Your stress is making the fabric confused. Adaptive camouflage responding to adrenaline, definitely stolen military tech, places everyone. Finale in 5 minutes, Francesco announced. The runway stretched ahead like a gauntlet of doom. 8-inch heels, stress-reactive fabric, international press, and the very real possibility of face-planting in front of the fashion world's elite. Jasmine took a deep breath, accessed every bit of her undercover training, and stepped onto the runway. The first 10 steps went surprisingly well. The fabric responded to her newfound confidence, shifting into stunning patterns that drew gasps from the audience. Camera flashes erupted like lightning, then disaster struck. Halfway down the runway, Jasmine's heel caught in a seam. Physics took over. She stumbled, the dress's stress response went haywire, and she found herself sliding across the runway in what could charitably be called interpretive performance art. The audience went silent. Then someone started clapping. Then everyone was clapping. The fashion press went insane. Photographers scrambled for angles. And Isabella looked like she'd witnessed either a miracle or a catastrophe. Brilliant, someone shouted. Deconstructed elegance, performance fashion. Jasmine stood up, somehow still upright, the dress now cycling through colors like a technological rainbow. The crowd erupted in applause. Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. Mission completion. The post-show reception was exactly what Jasmine expected. Champagne, pretentious conversation, and Isabella introducing her revolutionary fabric technology to buyers who definitely weren't interested in making prettier dresses. This adaptive fiber technology, Isabella explained to a man who screamed military contractor, responds to environmental conditions, stress levels, and can theoretically provide near invisibility in combat situations. Jasmine, still in the finale dress, secretly recorded everything while accepting compliments on her innovative runway performance. The fabric is currently exclusive to my fashion house, Isabella continued. But for the right price, certain applications could be shared with interested parties. What kind of applications? Asked a woman with Russian accent and suspicious bulge under her jacket. Military camouflage that adapts in real time. Stealth technology that responds to the wearer's vital signs. The possibilities are limitless. Complete confession recorded. Isabella, Jasmine interrupted sweetly, could you show us how the technology actually works? Of course, darling. Isabella pulled out a tablet connected to Jasmine's dress. See how the fibers respond to biometric data? Heart rate, skin temperature, stress hormones all create different adaptive responses. And there's the technical documentation. Fascinating, Jasmine said while her hidden camera captured every screen. You must have worked with some amazing scientists. Oh, I didn't develop this myself. I acquired the technology from certain government research facilities. Very hush-hush, very expensive, very worth it. Confession of theft. Mission complete. Isabella Montclair, Jasmine announced, pulling out her badge. You're under arrest for theft of classified military technology and international arms dealing, but you're just a model. How did you, honey? Jasmine smiled, finally kicking off the torture device heels. I'm a special forces operative with a Fashion Week crash course. The stumble was an accident, but everything else was performance art. Mission debrief. Excellent work, Agent Shadow. Director Sato reviewed the report. Technology recovered, arms dealer arrested, international fashion incident accidentally created. About that, Jasmine said, back in comfortable male form. Apparently, my deconstructed runway performance is being hailed as revolutionary. 3 agencies want to book me for shows. Interesting side career option. I'm never wearing heels again, ever. My feet still haven't forgiven. And the fashion world disagrees. Vogue wants an interview. Final status, mission successful. Military technology recovered. Agent Shadow accidentally becomes fashion icon. Isabella Montclair's revolutionary fabric show becomes evidence in international arms dealing trial. Recommendation, add runway walking to basic training. Also, invest in better heels. The 8-inch ones are classified as torture devices in 17 countries. End of mission file number 3. The Phantom Shift Agency, mission file number 4, Operation Gothic Underground. Agent Ryan Ghost Mitchell gives Susan Mitchell target. Damian Cross, 26. Hacker collective leader disguised as Gothic musician mission. Infiltrate underground music scene. Prevent cryptocurrency heist and banking system crash. Location, underground Tokyo club, The Abyss. Duration, 48 hours, embarrassment level. Existentially dark, Ryan Ghost Mitchell had infiltrated drug cartels, terrorist cells, and once spent 2 months undercover with doomsday cultists in Montana. None of that prepared him for staring at his reflection as Susan Mitchum, a goth alt girl complete with electric blue hair and a choppy asymmetrical cut. Enough black makeup to paint a small building, and clothing that looked like it was designed by vampires having a midlife crisis. The Phantom Shift transformation had turned him into the quintessential alternative Gothic girl. Pale skin that suggested allergic reaction to sunlight, dramatic cheekbones that could cut glass curves that somehow worked perfectly with the dark aesthetic, and an overall appearance that screamed, I write poetry about the meaninglessness of existence while looking devastatingly beautiful doing it. Agent Ghost. Director Sato's voice crackled through the concealed earpiece disguised as a skull-shaped earring. Your target is Damian Cross, leader of the Digital Requiem Hacker Collective. They remasquerading as a Gothic rock band while planning to crash the global banking system using stolen cryptocurrency worth $50 million. The attack happens during tonight's concert. Susan stared at the platform boots that added 6 inches to her height and approximately 17 hazard warnings to walking. These shoes violate the Geneva Convention. Your cover is Susan Mitchell, mysterious Gothic alt-girl influencer from the underground Tokyo scene. The Gothic community values authenticity and darkness. I can do dark. I once spent 3 weeks in a Syrian bunker, eating nothing but MREs and existential dread. Different kind of dark, Agent. Think less military operation and more artistic suffering and fashionable despair. Susan examined her outfit, fishnet sleeves, leather pants that creaked ominously, enough chains to secure a small boat, A choker that felt like a stylish noose, and a corset that made breathing an artistic challenge. How do goth out girls function in daily life wearing this equipment? Hour 1. Descent into the abyss. The underground club was everything Ryan had expected, and several things he hadn't. Located beneath a seemingly abandoned warehouse in Shibuya, the abyss was a sensory assault of strobing lights, thunderous music that sounded like industrial machinery having an emotional breakdown, and enough black eyeliner to supply a small army of raccoons. The clientele looked like they'd escaped from a Tim Burton fever, dream pale, dramatic, and committed to an aesthetic that suggested sunlight was their natural enemy. Everyone moved with practiced melancholy, as if walking itself was an artistic expression of cosmic despair. Susan's entrance caused the appropriate stir. Her striking goth outgirl appearance, the electric blue hair contrasting with porcelain skin, dark makeup that could have been applied by a professional, and an outfit that perfectly balanced edgy and elegant drew appreciative nods from several patrons, while others regarded her with territorial wariness. Oh my god, your aesthetic is absolutely killing it. A girl with purple hair and enough piercings to set off airport security grabbed Susan's arm. I'm Luna. You're giving me major dark goddess from the void vibes. Are you new to the Tokyo out scene? Thank you. Susan replied, still adjusting to her higher voice and the philosophical implications of platform boot navigation while managing the unexpected weight distribution of her new feminine form. Are you here for Damien's set? Digital Requiem is like totally revolutionary. Plus, Damien Kun has a thing for mysterious goth out girls like you. Target located through enthusiastic goth networking and romantic intelligence. I've heard amazing things about their ... philosophical approach, Susan managed, hoping that sounded sufficiently dark and meaningful. Right? Damien Kun has been teasing something huge for tonight's show. Some kind of performance art that will demonstrate the fragility of digital infrastructure, or something equally profound. Banking system hack disguised as performance art. Hour 2, Gothic infiltration. The club's VIP section was accessible only to the most committed members of the underground scene. Susan discovered that gaining entry required demonstrating sufficient Gothic credibility through aesthetic commitment, philosophical darkness, an ability to discuss the existential implications of industrial music while looking devastatingly beautiful in all black. You understand, explained Victor, the club storekeeper who looked like a vampire accountant, that the Abyss is not merely a venue, it is a sanctuary for those who recognize the beautiful futility of existence in our digital age. Particularly out girls who embody the aesthetic of romantic darkness. The void gazes also into us, Susan replied, accessing every philosophy course he'd ever taken and adding maximum dramatic emphasis while batting heavily mascara and eyelashes. The VIP area provided perfect surveillance positioning. Damien Cross held court at a corner table, surrounded by disciples who hung on his every word like he was dispensing universe secrets. He was exactly what central casting would order for a brooding hacker goth, pale, dramatic, with carefully cultivated darkness and an obvious weakness for striking goth outgirls. The corporate systems, Damien intoned to his audience, are brittle constructs built on digital foundations. Tonight, we demonstrate the beautiful chaos that lies beneath their false stability. His eyes immediately found Susan across the room, and his practice brooding intensified noticeably. Excuse me, Susan approached the table with appropriate Gothic confidence, her platform boots clicking dramatically. I'm Susan, your reputation for digital artistry precedes you. Damien looked up with practiced intensity, but his expression shifted to genuine interest as he took in Susan's striking appearance. Ah, another seeker of truth in the digital wasteland. Your aesthetic suggests deep understanding of the void, an exquisite taste in alternative fashion. I believe in the poetry of technological collapse, Susan replied, surprising herself with how naturally the pretentious Gothic dialogue flowed from her glossy black lips. Excellent. Join us, Dark Angel. Tonight's performance will be ... transformative. Hour 3. The Digital Requiem. As Digital Requiem took the stage, the energy in the abyss shifted from casual Gothic posturing to genuine anticipation. Damien commanded attention with stage presence that suggested he believed his own mythology, though he kept glancing toward the VIP section where Susan sat, clearly performing as much for his mysterious blue-haired audience as for the crowd. Tonight, Damien announced to the crowd, his voice carrying over the industrial soundscape, we demonstrate the fragile nature of the systems that enslave us. Behold the poetry of digital destruction. On massive screens throughout the club, code began scrolling real-time hacking programs attacking banking networks worldwide. The audience cheered, thinking it was elaborate performance art. Susan realized with growing horror that it was actually happening. Beautiful, isn't it? Luna shouted over the music. The way the code flows like digital blood, and look how Damien couldn't keep staring at you. Susan's earpiece crackled. Agent Ghost, we're detecting massive cyber attacks on major banking networks. You need to stop this now. Susan pushed through the crowd toward the stage. The platform boots were surprisingly effective for crowd navigation. People moved aside to avoid being stepped on by 6 inches of Gothic footwear, while her striking goth outgirl appearance parted the sea of black-clad fans like a dark angel on a mission. Damien, Susan called out as she reached the stage, her voice carrying the perfect mix of admiration and dark allure. Your artistic vision is incredible. Can you show me how the technical side works? A fellow appreciator of digital aesthetics, Damien gestured grandly to his laptop setup, eager to impress the mysterious goth girl who had captured his attention. See how the code flows like poetry through the networks? Each banking system falls like dominoes in a beautiful cascade of corporate collapse. The artistry is amazing, Susan said, moving closer to the laptop with feline grace despite the platform boots. What happens next? Phase 2 begins in 60-second simultaneous attacks on all major cryptocurrency exchanges. The global economy will experience the most beautiful chaos it has ever seen. Damien Cross, Susan announced, pulling out her badge and simultaneously yanking the power cables from the hacking equipment. You're under arrest for conspiracy to commit cyber terrorism. The music stopped. The crowd stared. Damien's expression shifted from Gothic intensity to confusion to betrayal. But you're just a beautiful goth out girl. How did you? I am a Special Forces operative with a crash course in Gothic aesthetic appreciation, Susan replied, restraining Damien with zip ties she'd concealed in her leather corset. The goth out girl thing is temporary biotechnology. This is impossible. No one could infiltrate the Gothic underground, especially not someone so perfectly embodying the dark feminine aesthetic. Turns out, if you commit to the bit hard enough and look good in black, people accept you anywhere. Also, your password was void eternal darkness 666 single quotes, even for a goth. That's embarrassingly predictable. Mission completion as Phantom Shift Agency specialists secured Damien's equipment. The club's patrons gradually realized that the evening's performance art had been an actual prevented catastrophe. So, Luna asked, approaching Susan, you're really a government agent, but you're such a perfect goth out girl? The goth out girl thing is complicated biotechnology that's actually kind of badass. Very underground anti-establishment, but like for good instead of chaos. Mission debrief. Outstanding work, Agent Ghost. Director Sato reviewed the mission report. Banking system protected, cyber terrorist arrested, global economic collapse prevented. Great, Susan said, back in normal male form, but somehow still wearing the blue hair. Please tell me I never have to be a goth alt girl again. Actually, the Tokyo Gothic community has declared you an honorary dark goddess. Your commitment to authentic Gothic femininity while serving the greater good has become legendary. I just want normal shoes, regular hair, and my original gender back permanently. Final status: mission successful. Global banking system secured. Agent Ghost accidentally becomes Gothic community icon and inadvertent outgirl influencer. Recommendation: add alternative subculture infiltration to training curriculum. Consider adding Gothic outgirl aesthetic appreciation to specialized training modules. End of mission file number 4.